So, eFootball meta. 4-2-1-3 would most likely would be more of a meta, right? This Lewandowski here is kind of nonsense. There we go. We'll switch it up like that. Even though Mbappe isn't really able to play. There you go. We'll play him left mid. We'll replace Rafinha. And usually it would be like more like this. Let's get Pedri, of course. It's crazy that he wasn't even in there. And it would look a little bit more like this. DMF, CMF, Mbappe, because this Mbappe, as crazy as it sounds, can't play shadow striker, only striker. So we'll put him on the wing, right? And this is a little bit more meta because typically what the Rats do in this game, and obviously in eFootball, the Rats rule the roost, let's be honest. And what they do is they win the ball by rushing you using, the overpowered defense. Then they line up in quick counter, win the ball, and constantly spam through balls. Hence why there's this gap here between the backs and the center two, which a lot of times will be two DMFs, right? And then you have a line of 4 or even 5 players. Sometimes they won't even have a CMF. They'll just have one DMF and then line 5 up across the field and just ping through balls. I played the opponent yesterday that did it, and unfortunately it works pretty well. So, we will see how this game goes, and I really want, like I said yesterday, and then we got off topic, so I'll say it again. I really want you to focus on the attack and, more importantly, the shooting. Goals make football games, period. It's the heart of football games. I want you to center on the shots that turn into goals and then work out from there. How did those goals get created, the chance creation, right? How did the defense react? How real was it? How arcade-like was it? Was it something that you feel like is satisfying to you? Is it something that is boring? The goals just aren't realistic and they're boring, or they're just all the same? Whatever it is, really focus on the goals in this entire streaming session because it directly affects your overall feeling towards the game, right? When a football game's in its best state, you're going to see awesome goals. You're going to see a variety of goals. You're going to see realistic goals, but also that touch of flair that maybe could happen in real life but doesn't happen as much. There's this science to it. And right now, the ability to just aim and shoot as opposed to precision shooting or even green time shooting like FC has, really takes away from the skill in shooting. But then what does it do to the actual finishes, right? That's what we're going to focus on. Because the skill in shooting itself is one thing, and that makes up for a lot, right? Even if you have more boring goals, if you're earning them in the shooting dynamics are more, skill based, that is that reward in itself, the skill that it takes to shoot and actually get a good shot and score, that goes a long way, right? But if you're not going to have that, if you're going to have something as simple as aim and shoot, right, and then the AI decides the rest, then you better have great finishes, right, that are still satisfying to players that want to see good goals, want to score good goals. So let's see what eFootball has to offer. Good ball, good overlap, good ball day. Way to hold off the defender. Going for a finesse. Good save by the keep. All right, well done. Sorry for the sniffles. My allergies have been killing me. If you haven't noticed, it's been a couple weeks now. It just is what it is in the summertime. All right, so we've seen there. First chance, and obviously that's another thing I didn't mention. I mentioned it yesterday, though, but pay attention to how the goalkeepers affect the shooting and play into the shooting as well. Are they overpowered? Are they realistic? Are they making unrealistic saves? Right? Are they too underpowered? Pay attention to all that. It all ties together. Man, how bad do you feel? That guy, I mean, he was kind of a ratty player, kind of just, we were both low-level players, but how bad do you feel? Last second he gets a win, as nonsense as it was. And the servers crashed yesterday right as he got the win. It didn't count it. That's that X you saw today. It literally crashed as we were finishing our game. One substitute less, one just quicker. Literally, it was seconds away from counting. It was right when we were exiting the game. Oh, that would have been sick. Goal. All right, so you've seen the goal there, right? Left footed shot. There's a little delay in the natural way that eFootball shots come off because of the power up. I don't like that at all. Think that's unrealistic. You've seen the way it rocketed into the net. You've seen the goalie's reaction. My thing is this. I think that eFootball's goals are satisfying many times. I mean, especially when a player hits the absolute bomb that just ripples the net. But they aren't realistic, right? I mean, you can hit those 50-yard shots. You can hit a shot from the center circle off a kickoff that the goalie ends up parrying away. Then if you get a power shot with a good shooter from 50, 60 yards, you're liable to score. A player did yesterday on me. That was his first goal after I went up 1-0. 50-yard shot. Now he was wide open. Has a shot from that far been scored before? Yes. So, could it happen? Yes. But my qualms are more about the animations themselves, like the goalie's reaction to certain shots. Those type of things are a little too unrealistic for a football game that has um, such good true to football feel, to the feel of the ball when you're passing, the movement. Um, those type of build up plays are so true to football that you would think on the shooting side they not only would have realistic goals but also add a dynamic system, right? I mean, if you told me about precision shooting and green time shooting and I didn't play FC or eFootball or UFL but I knew the gist of the games, I would have thought green time shooting and precision shooting was a eFootball thing. So that's something that's very new. All right, so we have an opponent that is making some changes. Oh man, these allergies. Come on, buddy. Anytime now. So far, so good, but we can't rest on 1-0 leads. This happened to me each of the last couple games. And then my opponent proceeded to use smart assist and tie it up. So watch this goal. Even though he's not playing, let's see this. Wow. Now notice something. I aimed at the corner and I shot. Right? Now let's watch this. I aimed at the corner and shot. There's nothing else I could have done there. Look. Why it went wide, who knows? Right? That's what I do not like. The ability to place that shot and then precisely shoot it on top of precisely strike the ball the right way with green time and precision shooting or some kind of dynamic shooting system changes that. Now, the ball hitting the net, for whatever reason, if you understand what I'm saying, then you understand. If not, you don't. But as a striker myself, the way the ball actually finishes and hits that net, right, is a big thing. And even though it's, again, unrealistic, I do think it's definitely satisfying, right, in eFootball. So that is something I'll give them a positive. It doesn't necessarily have to be 100% realistic, but it does have to give you that satisfying feeling. It does have to give you that joy that actually scoring in real football gives you. So one of the things I wanted to add too, like if you're asking like, well, what would you add then? They can't just copy 100% off FC. I get that part. But for instance, one of the things I would add is, let's say you wanted to take that 50-yard shot that you just power up, do the stunning shot, it goes in. Or you wanted to take a finesse shot from 22 yards out, let's just say wherever it was. If you just want to do a power up, aim and shoot, and you don't want to get much, more difficult than that, you could at least do a sweet spot. For example, you go to power up the shot and there's a certain bar, and you actually have to meet that bar. If you want to make it even more difficult, make the bar faster, the higher the difficulty, and then you could do a double tap, meaning the first tap, you try to get it right on the sweet spot, and that is the precision of your shooting, where it will be placed. The second tap, you try to get it right on that spot again, and that would be how well you strike the ball, right? If you're off in either of those areas, you just won't strike the ball as well. If they did something like that, I mean, that would be huge, a huge improvement. So it wouldn't be that difficult to simply add a sweet spot on the power up bar. They already got the power up bar. And then if they want to go a little more detailed, just add a double tap. So you press shoot, hit it on the sweet spot, or the closer you get, the more accurate you are. The higher the attributes, the more room for error you have. That's similar to precision shooting and green time shooting. And then that second time it goes around, you try to get it close to the sweet spot again, and that decides how well you strike the ball, right? Again, the higher attribute shooters who have a more powerful shot can be a little more off the sweet spot and still have a well-struck shot. The players with lower attributes, they're going to need more to be more precise. So your skill will absolutely be the difference maker, and that's what football should be all about, the actual skill. Off the post and in. Nothing like in a real game, though. This is a real game, but I'm just saying nothing like in a close game, I should say, where one of those types of shots, you shoot it the exact same way, but the other time it hits the post and goes out. Or goes wide, and you're like, what's the difference, But that's my summary of eFootball shooting and the system that they use, or lack thereof. There you have it. That was my take on the shooting system, or like I said, lack thereof in eFootball. I want to know what you think. I will be continuing to give these snippets from my streams because the more you know about these football games, the better you will do. Eventually, you will have enough knowledge. You won't even need to watch my channel. You'll have all the information to do what you need tactics-wise, to understand the game, how it works, how you can tell how each game works, the differences in tactics, the differences in the nuances of each game, because if you have that, you have the key to success. So, if you like the video, if you like where this channel is going, please leave a like and subscribe. Your support means everything. And of course, join my Discord. The link is in the YouTube bio. I will see you on the next one. Peace out.